Hey y'all, this is Marley K. Hope everybody is well. This story comes from ABC News, came out on July 8th, 2024. It is about the Vatican's legal power. I want y'all to pay attention to all these absolute uh, power and absolute immunity, all this absolute kingdom talk. Pay attention to it because it means something. But we need to pay attention to this because this is referring to the government of Rome, the Vatican's power, and this is significant because again, it demonstrates that the Vatican is a government. It is a kingdom. It is a nation that we need to keep an eye on because it is getting its power and is beginning to exercise it, and it speaks as if it has power. So I'm talking about it like it is a nation. I'm not talking about it like it is a religion or it is just a church. It is a powerful kingdom that is uh, on every continent of this earth and everywhere has millions of people, if not billions of people, billions of churches. They're intertwined with governments because they have social organizations that gets taxpayer money. They do stuff on behalf of the government. It's a whole intricate thing. It's very intricate. So if you don't know anything about the Catholic charities and Catholic social services and Catholic schools and Catholic universities, and it's a lot. You just got to follow the money. Anyway, chief prosecutor defends Vatican's legal system after recent criticism of Pope's absolute power. So it says the Vatican's chief prosecutor has strongly defended the integrity and fairness of the city state's justice system. The Vatican's chief prosecutor has strongly defended the integrity and fairness of the city state's justice system. What is that? The city state. That's a government. Following criticism that Pope Francis's absolute power and his interventions in the so-called trial of the century last year violated the defendant's fundamental rights. Prosecutor Alessandro Didi's defense comes as the Vatican Tribunal finalizes its written reasonings for its December 2023 verdicts. The tribunal convicted a cardinal and 8 others of various financial related crimes related to the Holy See's 350 million euro investment in a London property, but has not yet explained its decision. Didi published an essay last month in a peer-reviewed Italian journal, Diritto e Religione, Law and Religion. Though he was not identified as the Vatican's top criminal prosecutor, in keeping with the journal's practice. Legal experts said such a publication in an academic journal was unusual, since Didi is a party to a trial that is heading into the appeals phase. He was essentially replying to 2 academics and lawyers representing some of the 10 defendants who have raised questions about whether the 2-year trial and preceding investigation were fair. Their critiques have raised more fundamental concerns about whether a fair trial is even possible in an absolute monarchy where the Pope wields supreme legislative, executive, and judicial power and used it in this case. These critics have cited Pope Francis's role in the trial, since he secretly issued 4 decrees during the investigation that changed Vatican procedures to benefit prosecutors. And they have called into question the independence and impartiality of the tribunal itself, since the judges swear obedience to Francis, who can hire and fire them at will. Francis recently named several of his closest allies, cardinals with no experience in Vatican law, to sit as judges on the Vatican's highest court of appeal and issue new rules on judges' salary and pension benefits. So, y'all see what's going on. They're setting up the court for you know what to come. Even though the Holy See isn't a signatory to the European Convention of Human Rights on human rights, it doesn't place itself outside the international community and doesn't renege on the principle that inspired it, Didi said. So they love to talk about human rights, but they're not a part of any convention on human rights. Not this one, the European Union, where they are located. Interesting. The 4 secret decrees were signed by the Pope in 2019 and 2020, giving the Vatican prosecutors wide-ranging powers to investigate, including via unchecked wiretapping, and to deviate from existing laws in allowing them to detain suspects without a judge's warrant. Oh my gosh. The decrees only came to light right before the trial, were never officially published, provided no rationale or time frame for the surveillance or detention or oversight by an independent judge. Didi denied the decrees impacted the suspects' rights. He said they merely provided an authentic interpretation by the Pope to Vatican norms. So, in any event, it's a whole lot of stuff going on. So it's questions about the fairness and impartiality of the Vatican city-states legal system. So it's a city and a state and a nation and everything. It's everything. It's everything. Got its own everything. We should be afraid. Israel should be afraid. Because if he has absolute power and all the churches are going back under him, that means he has absolute power over every church, every religion on the planet. And everyone that will violate or refuses to go along with whatever he says will have to go through his legal system. So this is why you need to be coming out of churches. Not that it's going to save us from persecution, mind you, but when folks wake up and find out that they are under the Pope's absolute power and their legal system and their city state and all the other stuff that they're talking about, it's going to be real ugly. So it says these countries might be less willing to cooperate if they doubt the fairness of the system. I'm sorry, I skipped the whole part. Questions about the fairness and impartiality of the Vatican City State's legal system could have implications for the Holy See down the road, since the Vatican relies on other countries to cooperate in law enforcement investigations and implement its sentences. Oh my goodness, do you hear this? These countries might be less willing to cooperate if they doubt the fairness of the system. So this is something that we never talked about before. I I didn't even know that they had a legal system and that their legal system works with other nations' law enforcement investigations. Work with law enforcement to do investigations. So y'all think that the law enforcement ain't gonna work with them during the New World Order? They're gonna work with them because they control everything. Additionally, whenever the Holy See signs commercial contracts with non-Vatican entities, it insists that any contract dispute be handled by its own tribunal. So if you got beef with them, you got to go through their courts. You can't go through an outside court. That contractual clause could become difficult to negotiate if there are questions about whether the other side will be treated fairly by the Vatican court. Less hypothetically, the Holy See is subject to periodic review by the Council of Europe's Moneyval Commission, whose evaluators analyze the effectiveness of the judicial system in fighting money laundering and terrorist financing. What? Why they gonna have all this? Why the church gotta have stuff about money laundering and terrorist financing? Come on now. In a related development, the Vatican's number 3 official on Monday wrapped up 3 days of testimony in London court in a spin-off countersuit brought by one of the Vatican defendants. Raphael Mencione, a London-based financier, is seeking to have the British High Court declare that he acted in good faith in his dealings with the Vatican over the London property. He is hoping to clear his name and repair the reputational harm he says he and his firm have endured as a result of the Vatican trial. Mencione has also filed a complaint with the UN Human Rights Office in Geneva, interesting, claiming that the Pope violated his rights by authorizing surveillance via the decrees. The Vatican has rejected the claim, saying in a press statement that the investigation followed all relevant laws and international agreements and that no surveillance was actually ordered for Mencione. Mencione and the other defendants have announced appeals. Mm, well, well. Anyway, y'all see the beast got its own legal system that is rarely talked about, and the Pope has absolute power. So I want y'all to meditate on that in concert with all the other things I've been telling y'all about the beast and why we need to watch the beast and the false prophet, because there's a dead cat on the line. And I think these things are being set up quietly for a reason. And we need to just keep watch, because whenever they transition into this day of rest, and people who violate it will likely have to go through this system. So it is in our best interest to learn about it. I don't know about it myself. I'm just learning about it with you. But this is a nugget, it's a data point for you to do your own research. All the information is available. It's the church. Now, I don't think everything is available, because, of course, they hide stuff. But you do need to become familiar with their legal system, their laws, because this is an international thing. So they're like a global international system in every country, on every continent. And it's kind of like the Hague, or the UN, and some of these other entities. Like, it's just really weird. And they have cooperative agreements with governments. Why does this church? No other church has that, but this one does. So y'all just think about this with your good, healthy brain, and leave me your feedback in the comments. Tell me what you're thinking. But I just want to put y'all up on what time it is. They're organizing. They're getting together. So you need to be preparing for persecution if you're an Israelite and you're not going to church, or if you're coming out of a church, or if you're in a church and you're planning on breaking off and becoming independent and rabble rousing. Be prepared for some trouble, because trouble is coming all of our ways. They're not doing this for nothing. So this is just kind of letting the cat out of the bag, I guess, so to speak. I don't think it was published accidentally. The purpose of it, I don't necessarily know what it is, but we're going to use it as a data point to help educate us about how far reaching the false prophet legal powers are, and that they actually have a legal system. Who knew? Well, I mean, I knew, but I didn't know what I just learned in this article. So, anyway, Please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notification so that you'll be notified each and every time I upload new content. Follow me on Odyssey, Rumble, Instagram, and on Facebook. The links are in the description. If you'd like to support the channel, the links to my Venmo and my coffee are at the very bottom of the description. Any donations would be greatly appreciated. And lastly, continue to pray, seek the Most High. Repent daily for your sins of commission and sins of omission. Keep the Sabbath. Learn about the false prophet, the history of the false prophet, what the false prophet is trying to do in the end times, and how those things will impact, Yahuwah's chosen people. We are getting close to the real bad part. So learn as much as you can while you can, because the hour is coming where we won't have power. We won't have internet. We won't have access to nothing. You may not even be able to leave your house. So you need to get what you need to get it fast, and learn as much as you can. And even if we're not able to share information or learn online, you should still be preparing to learn in your homes, in your own spaces, and just prepare. That's the best way I can say it. Just prepare. Um, they've already told us what they're going to do to us. They've already told us what they're going to do to the world. Try your best not to be here. Pray to be found worthy to escape what's coming on this earth. That's all we can do. All right. This is Marley K. Love y'all, and I'm out.